Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Kairaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980 8483 340 9400 or 635-9906.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Brusubi opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited, or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051, or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
Agada. Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyenje.
Okay. Korsa. Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. Agada.
Bijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariya.
Bare
mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbali ya bere. Birin koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe to.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jang.
Ha?
Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kodo kiya bere. Kodo sifa fo palindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nim kodi maraw. Jannam number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi ma nin domorol din fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ma kumfa kendol sotale je.
Wo moyo diat.
Apelenta
ni wo ka ni lafta nyelen kendol e bina.
Yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Abaraka.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Good afternoon and welcome to a late brunch on Ketfatu Live, and this is our weekly look at current affairs. Now, you may have been aware that over the last week or so, the members of the Staff Association of the University of the Gambia have embarked on an industrial action over many issues, including, of course, the dismissal of 2 lecturers over what the UTG management called peddling unfounded stories and tarnishing the image of the institution. However, that matter is just one among several issues that the Staff Association said that they are not happy with. So, in order for us to hear from the horse's mouth, I drag in the studio senior members of the university staff, or some people will say faculty and staff association. They are Dr. Ensa Touray, he is the president of the association, and his secretary general, Yoro Njie. Obviously, over the last few days, we've heard from different authorities, the Minister for Higher Education, as well as the Minister for Information, who himself was a senior lecturer at the same university, all giving their point of view and to analyze the situation. So, gentlemen, welcome to the brunch.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, as far as the UTG management is concerned, you people have sided with people who were punished for alleged violation of the code of conduct of the university by going to the media and saying what they said was unfounded allegations that tarnished the image of the institution. According to university management, when they called them for a disciplinary action, the 2 men also walk out. So, as far as the university management is concerned, you people are yourself engaged in something that is not justifiable. But before we go into those arguments, I want one of you to tell me, apart from the lecturers' problem, because I know they have instituted a shoot in the court, so we may not discuss the merits or the merits of that argument. But I want us to, from your perspective, what exactly, among other things, led to this industrial action, and why do you think it is important at this hour when the students are facing examinations?
Thank you so much,
Dr. Touray.
On behalf of the Staff Association and the entire university community, we thank you for allowing us to actually come and clarify issues related to current industrial action of the University of the Gambia Staff Association. What we need to understand, first of all, University of the Gambia has a governance problem, and then owing to that situation, we actually minimal government interference to actually curb it is also necessary, because government doesn't want to be accused of interference, because university is just like microstate. It's an independent institution with all the structures to actually influence or dictate its governance. To give you the background of this problem, you understand that normally University of the Gambia normally call for application for promotions, and then that is normally from May to October. And then these promotions were actually, the lecturers apply, and then in May, and then normally according to the university policy, it has to be released by October. And all other vice chancellors actually respect the policy framework, and then where even the previous staff who were promoted from associate to professorial rank or from senior lecturer to professor were all actually promoted. Professor Robinson came to was assumed leadership of the university around 2021 or 2022. And then what actually happened, people applied last May when they called for promotion, and then by October, I think around October, the promotion committee, that is A and PC, comprise professors, senior lecturers, and other competents who constitute that committee. They did their work and submitted their recommendations. And when what was remaining is to announce for those from senior lecturer down, because they were assessed within the university. Those who apply for associate and professorial rank, their part should be sent to their external assessors. Internally, they assess them, and their assessment was very successful. Now to send it to external assessors. When the vice chancellor realized that many Gambians are to be promoted to that level, he just actually interrupted the process and asked them to submit everything to him, and it was submitted. And now time elapsed. People wrote to the vice chancellor, asked them about the state of their promotion. He doesn't reply. Emails were sent, and then people were calling him. He didn't want to respond. So how could you have a vice chancellor as the highest academic personality in the university, scholars whose promotion are still delayed are writing their correspondent? Even me as a staff association president, I call him. He didn't pick it. I wrote to him. I joined my colleagues when they were writing. He failed to respond. And then UTG governance does not actually value the scholars. Does not value the scholar, and they don't value even scholarship. When you value the scholars, it means you value scholarship. You create an enabling environment that actually motivate them to stay. Consider most of these Gambians are competent scholars. From masters to PhD, they stay in the country. They could have traveled to the West and then stay there and work and earn their money. But they want to stay and contribute because government helped them. Some of them got their PhD through government support, and they decided to stay. But you, as a leading personality in the university, instead of encouraging them, you are demotivating them. So we could not do anything. Our other members were angry. They went out to radio and television because here they are constrained. The vice chancellor is not responding. And when you ask him, he's telling people that he is going through everything. Is he the only qualified competent in the university? When A and PC committee was actually, is led by who? Professor Rafa. Professor Rafa is a assistant professor. He actually submitted everything to him. And I think this media house should actually invite Professor Rafa to clarify. And these people submitted him to him, and the vice chancellor is delaying. He said that he is trying to actually take his time. Taking your time for more than 1 year, where you could actually invite them so that you could jointly reassess. He refused to do that. And when these people went out to talk about the issues of promotion delay, that was the time these people consider Ali Jiba and whatever action as something that is not in line with the code of conduct and the condition of service.
But is it true that there is a mechanism in the university whereby if you have a grievance, you don't go to the media? You are prohibited, or are you violating any rule if you go out to the media to talk about university matters?
No, I don't know that, but we see that when the lecturers go out to talk, know that the leadership is not responding in the first place, doesn't actually value their correspondence, he doesn't care. And then you are equal competent with these people. You are there, you have the same competence, you are all qualified doctorate degree holders. if you are ignoring them, you are just actually trying to marginalize them. And they felt marginal in his agenda. That is why the only way is the media, where they could actually vent their frustrations.
Okay.
And then what happened actually, I don't believe, once this happened, I don't believe that we consider it as predetermined or premeditated dismissals.
Okay, now since this matter is in court, okay, I'm glad you get the background too. One of the reasons that has led to this is the problem that you, the Gambian lecturers particularly, have applied for promotions, and the outcome of that process, you got no reply from the no cooperation from the management about it. So that's one issue. Is there any other issue? Because I mean, there are so many issues. Yeah, what are they? And then issues really. First of all, if you look at the University of the Gambia, first of all, like the incoming vice chancellor, like this vice chancellor, when he came, and he said that he is not going to deal with the staff association. He's not going to deal with the association represent the interests of. And
he doesn't know. They fool him and they deceive him. Staff association is a legal entity in the university. They are stakeholders in the governance of the university, and that is why in 2020 or 2021, when the staff realized that the government was not actually paying tuition fees, normally delay in paying the tuition fee, and the financial constraint actually encumber the university administration to run the daily of the university. Because one, the previous council was actually perpetuated there by former Minister Barra Juve, and sometimes it was difficult for them to face him because he actually positioned them there. So they could not do anything, and even university management. What we had to do in order to actually complement the effort of the management, we had to go for industrial action, and the government realized that there was a breakdown of communication. And government, when they realized that we went for industrial action, the government asked the ministry to pay the money, and they pay. And this money was pumped into the university accounts.
80-something million or more.
Yeah, how many millions? We did that. So, you can understand how could you actually isolate those people and telling us that...
so he said, allegedly, that he does not want to deal with...
Yeah, because that's what they told him in their handing over, not to deal with these people. And previous vice chancellor, the former vice chancellor, we used to have monthly actual meeting with the former vice chancellor on the to assess the issues of the university on monthly basis. We give them information that will actually guide them to redirect their governance or whatever. But when he came, the man actually was not interested in anything. So he was dictated by those who actually appoint him. That's why you can understand that he is not interested in scholarship, and because scholars, that is the lecturers, they are doing everything well. He's not interested in that because he did not even increase their salary. Since he came, he never did that. And the vice chancellors are appointed as leading scholars because of their competence and experience to establish network and linkages to actually mobilize funding for the university. But go and look at the financial state of the university. We have never had where he was able to establish network to actually mobilize funding. And then we understand that vice chancellors, they travel to actually look for those networks. But what we see now, he's not interested in scholarship, because he doesn't want to open himself to scholars to discuss anything concerning the running.
So that's another aspect.
Yes.
The attitude of the management is that they don't want to deal with the staff.
Exactly. Yes.
So whatever their staff position come up with, whether it's valid or not, they don't want to deal.
He doesn't care.
That's one attitude to that.
Yes.
The next will be what?
Yoro,
you want to come in?
I think it's that's just not that's a package.
Okay.
It has to do with the governance, how we administer. So I would have to first say good afternoon, viewers.
Yeah. Okay. But I have done it. So you might go straight to the topic.
Yes. So Lamin,
what do you think led us to this situation?
So Lamin, this thing has been accumulating for a long time. It's not just what Dr. Touray has just said, but it's a package of lapses in governance. Why we think, let me just go back to why we think the dismissal of our 2 staff were discriminatory in the first place. There was a time when students reported that one of their lecturers, who is a PhD holder, a non-Gambian, okay, I'm not trying to be xenophobic here, but I'm just laying a departure point and a very good foundation. So the students reported that the lecturer stole their assignment and published it with one of the senior management
official
personnel. So we said, look, this is a serious allegation, and if found to be true, it can have a great reputational damage to the university. So we wrote to the Vice Chancellor for the Vice Chancellor to investigate that. Lamin, as a leader, as a CEO of an institution, if you are given such a tip-off, what you could have done was to try and look into the matter. Not only us, the former director, a lot of people have been frustrated until they resigned from UTG. I mean, qualified people, the former director
and you think that this allegedly this is just a governance problem?
Yeah, it's a governance problem. The former director of research.
So the governance does not take action when matters are reported to them?
No, it's discriminatory because they only take matters if you can pick on Dr. Jiba and Dr. Madar, because they're too critical about the governance of the university, whilst there are some serious allegations that have been raised against the staff, but maybe the staff it's not Gambian.
It's in your good books.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Typically.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Okay.
So we wrote and nothing was done. The former director of research and consultants, Dr. Lamin Sanyang, equally wrote, and he was also ready to help to look into the allegations. To get a committee. The VC never responded. So if the Vice Chancellor can ignore such magnitude of allegation, how can you go on to following Dr. Jiba?
So you mean if he actually interested in protecting the image of the institution, as he said,
exactly,
that matter, I mean, actually constitutes more of a
image found to be true,
image denting than what Dr. Jiba might have done.
Yes, exactly. So we even went to an extent of writing to NACA. We were invited.
That's the national authority that accredits education authorities.
Yes, exactly. So we were invited by NACA, and we went and okay, it's an allegation, and you know, an allegation is just an allegation, but it's important to have. So nothing was done about this one, but 2 lecturers got frustrated. They went out and expressed their frustration. Were set into a disciplinary committee and were equally dismissed. You don't warn them, you don't terminate their service.
But the word is that they allegedly walk out of the disciplinary committee.
Yes. So let me just clarify that. So in the first day of the hearing, we were there, and it's within the right of the parties to invite any representative. It's protected. It's within their right. If you read the Labor Act, it's within their right. So we were there. I was there myself. Dr. Touray was there, and our first Vice President, Dr. Yoro Njie. We were there with Dr. Alif Jiba because he invited us to be there. But we do not want to interfere into those proceedings. But we were invited.
But it is true that they walk out.
Yes,
I'm claiming that perhaps the panel is already biased.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming.
That's what.
This is not a hearsay.
Okay.
I was a witness to that.
All right. Now we
yes. So they walk out. Let me explain that, because people are listening, and the government are listening. Lamin.
Well, I don't want to go into the merits of what might be before the court, because this argument might. I just want to.
So we are not discussing.
Brush aside the outskirts of the case, and not the merits. The argument there is that the people who are called to a disciplinary meeting.
There is conflict of interest.
Yes, there is conflict of interest.
And they said they cannot attend a committee
and walk out because they believe that the people who are there are already conflicted.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. So at this point, it's important for me to tell the viewers that I had invited the Vice Chancellor himself to this program, and he said initially that he would come. But after he sent me this message, which I'm obliged to read, he said, among other things, that because of these reasons, he cannot come, but he will not be able to attend this occasion for the following reasons. Number one, the press conference held by the Ministry of Higher Education, that is yesterday, that press conference, yesterday has provided details and an update in terms of the dialogue and negotiation based on the existing government-led framework. And two, he said, we want to respect the government-led framework for dialogue and negotiations. This government-led framework, which included both Students' Union and the Staff Association, resulted in resolutions on the replacement of the dismissed lecturers, rescheduling of the exams, processes and orientation sessions, and staff promotion. The Labour Commissioner, that is Labour Commissioner of Labour, with order, the framework also led to the setting up of an independent committee chaired by the Department of Labour, or its Commissioner of Labour, with other key stakeholders, including a representative of the UTG Staff Association, to review the processes and decisions that led to the dismissal of the two staff. I was invited as the Vice Chancellor to represent the UTG management. I was interviewed by the panel and submitted all the requested documents. The other party did not attend. Number three, the matter is in front of a court and is sub judice. The hearing will come on the 9th of December. I would be happy for a one-to-one discussion at a later date on other matters about UTG related to this one in court. So basically, especially number two, the Vice Chancellor said he wants to respect the government-led framework for dialogue negotiations, and he said this framework included Students' Union and your association, and it has resulted in resolutions on the replacement of the dismissed lecturers, the rescheduling of the exams, processes and orientation sessions on staff promotion. He said the framework also led to the setting up of an independent committee chaired by the Department of Labour. Now, he says some things to the program, but he said the government press conference that was held yesterday discussed the framework of dialogue, where you, the student body, were all represented, and importantly, the resolutions included replacing this. That was the resolution he made with the student, not with the staff association. He brought this thing because he said that he had already, he had already a design resolution with the student union, and he emphasized that the students are the most important elements of the university. That was the time I actually raised the need whether we are actually required to stay and listen to him, because he does not actually value and respect the scholars. Now he is aligning himself with the student because he could actually manipulate the student. We are scholars, he cannot manipulate us. You see, one thing you need to understand as far as scholarship is concerned, universities, vice chancellors are academic personalities. They are the highest that we understand. They have competence to actually generate or design a framework for the progress of any university. But a kind of divisive or sectional, governance will never do anything good for this university. But what do you make of a government-led initiative?
Because the government is interested in the pacification of the university. Government does not want, and government is very, very careful, because the university exists as an independent, autonomous body. They do not want also to be blamed for interfering in the governance of the university. They may be actually blamed for it, and you know that Gambia is part of international protocol, where democracy and rule of law should be upheld by all the government.
What do you make of this process?
Government led here is because we threatened to go for strike, and the student also said whenever their lecturers go for strike, they will also go for strike, and which means the university will not be operational. So this is where government as an interventionist force is required. Government came as a key player to pacify. They were not forcing any entity here at this point in time. When they realized that staff are really going for strike, they invited us so that we can actually start the dialogue.
He said there's a certain meeting that you failed.
Lamin, let me.
No. The government is even right now is actually thanking us for staff association cooperation.
He said the management was invited to that meeting. He led the institution, but you people, the other side, he called it, did not come.
No, Lamin.
Why didn't you come to that?
So Lamin, I try to lay the foundation, because if we do not have the foundation.
Okay, let's go ahead. But I'm obliged to tell you what.
Yes, I will come to that.
Yeah.
The taxpayers are listening, and it's important because.
Go ahead.
So the University of the Gambia, it's our university, and every one of us, either your relative, your son, your daughter, is attending the university. If their exams are jeopardized,
yes,
it affects not only the students or the lecturer, or it affects parents and everybody. It affects the taxpayers.
Yeah.
So it's important for them to know the scheme that has been going on in the university that led to this thing. Then I will explain the series of meetings that we have. I was part of that task force and all that. So Lamin, going back to the governance issue at the university, majority of the staff are with the view that even if they are qualified for a job at the university management preferred to give that job to non-Gambians, and I will cite a lot of examples. Since the current Minister of Higher Education, Professor Gomez, since he left the university, his position as DVC Vice Chancellor Academic was vacant for 2 years or more. It was not advertised, nothing was done about this, and that had paralyzed a lot of things, because when matters comes on academic issue, who is there to take the lead? All right. So the position was advertised. A qualified Gambian had applied. It was equally delayed for more than 1 year, 6 months. We even wrote to the Vice Chancellor and said this delay is not in the interest of the university. So until that qualified Gambian pick a job elsewhere, I do not want to say he's frustrated, because even I would say he got frustrated because we were there in his send-off, and also we've seen some comments. Until he left, interviews were called, and it was given to a non-Gambian a preferred non-Gambian who was there on sabbatical. It also happened to me. The position of the Director of Sports and Recreation was advertised. I can raise my hand and say, I'm the first Gambian that got a master's in sports administration. The position was advertised. I applied, and I was denied. Yeah, I was denied.
Yes.
I was denied, and it was given to also a non-Gambian. A non-Gambian. And that directorate, I set up the directorate from inception with concepts and everything. I was the sports coordinator, among other things. I applied for the position, and I was denied, and I was ranked second, and even the interview panel was all wrong. I challenged the matter.
Could it be that maybe they found the non-Gambians to be more competent for the position?
So Lamin, let me just explain. Directorate of Sports, it's not an academic department. It doesn't require someone with a PhD. How can you intend to appoint someone as an expatriate just to come and implement sports and recreation? So that guy never came because he was put in a lot of condition. He needs to be given a car, he needs to be given a house in blah blah and all these things. It was the staff association that said, look, it was not during this vice chancellor's time. I think it's important to give this distinction. Yes. So I'm just trying to explain the scheme, the scheme of management. So until such a time, this guy never came, and then the position was given to the one that was ranked second, among other things. If you look at Senate, among other things. So the issue of Senate, you can also say it's statutory issue because it has to do with the act and all that. But also look at the representation of the staff. Lamin, if I tell you the staff of the university are happy, they are not happy. And I will tell you, if you go to Senate, students are represented. I'm not trying to make comparison between the students and the staff. If you go to the governing council, students are represented. They will sit there and advance the interests of the students. No staff is there. All right? No staff is represented in the governing council. No staff is represented in the Senate because they are not mentioned in the Tertiary and Higher Education Act. And we've been pushing and asking and pushing and asking for too long now. What is stopping?
So that's not the fault of the management. That's a law.
Yeah, no. It's not the fault of the management. I'm just telling you everything that revolves around the governance of the university. That's the fault of higher education.
Yeah.
All right, and this current minister knows about that because he was one time a staff of the university. So that's one thing. The staff association was established in 2016. We never had the opportunity to meet our chancellor, the president. We have been requesting and asking, and whenever we ask,
2016. 16. That was Jam's time.
Yes.
You never met Jam. Jam was always proud to be in the university.
Well, it was 2016. I would have to check the date. Okay. Maybe it was just the enforcement.
But did you request to see president?
We always request to see our
staff association.
Yes. If you request, they will ask you to reroute your request to Mohas. But students can easily see the president, and not the president as a whole, but he's the chancellor of the university. If students can easily, every year, if they have a new council, they can see the president,
but the staff
and express their problems and challenges. But staffs, no. Since 2000,
you are on record to have written and request.
We have been requesting and requesting and requesting. Even this issue, when we knew that there are problems, we wrote to the chief of staff. I told him when we met at the State House that we wrote to the office that we need to have an emergency with you.
With the chancellor?
No, with him.
With him, okay.
Yeah, exactly, because if certain things are not tackled on time, it could lead to, now we see what is going on. So Lamin,
so you mean you have warned the government about this kind of things, and you have not been given audience, whereas the students are given access anytime they want to see the chancellor?
Lamin, whenever we write on a very serious correspondence, I know the vice chancellor don't like that, but we have a reason of doing that, because if we write to you, you keep ignoring us, we will write and copy the stakeholders.
Absolutely.
We will copy the Ministry of Higher Education, the chairman of the National Assembly Select Committee on Education, the chief of staff, we will just copy, so that tomorrow they will know that we have been writing. And also the other things, and we even challenge that. Currently we have 2 individuals that are on contract as a consultant. I mean, where have you seen a consultant being on a payroll? A consultant being on a payroll, and we challenge this. We are saying if these positions are relevant to the university, let it be advertised.
What consultants get paid anyway?
Yeah, they get paid a package to do a particular job, but you cannot put them on a payroll and give them scales. So we've been challenging all this.
And pay them social security.
Social security and all these benefits. So these are some of the things that we feel we cannot just sit. Lamin, as a student and as a staff, I have served 14 years in the university, and others will give you their experience. When UTG was classified as a substandard university, no one wanted to come to work for the University of the Gambia. So we should thank those that have been there, running from one block to another, lecturing and administering to ensure that the UTG is where it is. It is just that now UTG is at its stand footing that everyone wants to come and bleed the resources of the university. We all know what we are saying. So coming to our meetings, we had 3 meetings at the office of the Vice President, and we will thank government definitely. I mean, if you sit,
that was a meeting between you, the management of the university,
yes,
the students.
So our first meeting, I just want to give out the gaps in the press conference. In our first meeting, personally and my president, we do not even know why we were there.
Yeah. You got yourself there without knowing what.
Yes.
You must have honored an invitation. Who invited you?
So we were invited.
By
The
Office of the Vice President.
the Office of the Vice.
Yeah.
Oh, so you know how you got there.
No, we were just invited for a meeting.
But they didn't tell you the topic of the meeting.
No.
So when we went and we listened, all the discussions were revolving around students and their exams and whatsoever. And the student leader took a flyer. It's our flyer. That, you know, after this discussion, we've seen this flyer that the staff are going on strike on Monday. So it was hand-delivered to the Vice President. And the Vice President asked, and even the National Security Advisor said, our issue, he knows about our issue, I don't know, during whatever Security Council discussion. That's the time that they realized that, we thought we have tackled the students from going on strike. On the whole, the staff are also going on strike. That's how they knew about it. That's how we were invited. And the Vice President, His Excellency, asked, is this true? He said, with due respect, Honorable Vice President, yes, we are going on strike. And we have given our 14-day notice. But even within that 14-day notice, we've been asking and asking and asking. We even wrote to the Vice Chancellor. I sent him that email and copied my executive. And we also wrote to Mohas. The minister is very right that there were a lot of engagements. The Vice Chancellor until now never responded. Okay, the Minister of Higher Education was not in town, but he directed his PS to meet us. We were there, we had a meeting, and we said, look, these are just some small matters that we can all solve. It's not in the interest. I think, Lamin, you cannot train someone, you invest on them. For 20, 15 years, one day you just sack them. You're wasting 15 years of resources. Okay, so so we had that meeting, then we negotiated, we go back and then come back. The last time we had our meeting, there was an agreement that there will be a committee that will set, and it will include the Mohas, AG Chambers, this labor, the staff union, and trade, and the Ministry of Public Service. All right. So yeah, we were there. So we thought we had a good deal, and they asked us, okay, let's give room to, let's allow the committee to review 2 days, and then on Friday we'll come out with the report. Because our stand is clear that definitely we are not forcing government. You cannot force government. That has to be really clear. Government is doing all these things because they just want
government's interest is that no disruption to the learning of the students.
So we agreed. We were there, we agreed. But Lamin, you know, we owe our mandate to our members. So we thought that we had a good deal. In the first day I was in that meeting, to be very honest. But before we left office of the Vice President, the students were warned that the agreement was let the staff call off or suspend their strike and give room for Wednesday and Thursday. Then on Friday, then we will report the outcome of the ad hoc committee's meeting. So at night, 10 o'clock, so we wrote, the student rush. By 4 or 5 o'clock, they had a press conference, and we're saying the staff will come to work tomorrow by force. Start saying all these things. So when we send our dispatch, the staff said no over their dead body. This is a bad deal. This, that, student. So you understand. So one, it was jeopardized by the students. I think the press conference should have clearly explained that, because we all agree that even when we are suspending our strike, it will be the staff association that will announce that. The students, when for whatever political gain, because they are equally.
So you want to believe that the government, as you said, allegedly is manipulating the students to be on their side,
not the government,
and isolate the lecturers.
No, I mean the university management.
But did you see any connivance with the government and the university management, like in terms of supporting? Because
no, government.
You alleged here that You have tried to meet the government.
Yeah. No, that, what he's saying, that was before,
Yeah, that's what I'm
that to access the office of the chancellor.
The students can still access.
Exactly, because university management and, and other scholars,
it's important to
actually facilitate that for them.
Okay.
It's important to complete this thing, because it will leave the listeners on hanging. So we came and we dispatched, and the staff say, no, over there, dead body, that's not going to happen. Can you imagine from 10 o'clock, before 9, there was a call for an extraordinary congress. They were able to mobilize over 100 staff. 10 o'clock at night, 10, within 12 hours.
Who called that meeting? Who called it?
Our members?
Our members, it's within their right to do
okay.
Yes.
So
they called. So when the congress was going on, I was in the meeting. It's true, the vice chancellor was there. The other party is not us. It's the dismissed staff, Dr. Ali Jiba and Dr. Njie. And they cited that it was as a result of their legal advice that they should not attend that meeting. All right. So we had a congress. I was in that meeting. So when I came back, I was reported the congress resolution outcome. I said, well, if I owe my mandate to the members, and here the members are calling for an extraordinary congress and said they do not support that agreement that we had at the office of the president. So what I did, the second day, on Thursday, I went before everybody and told them, guys, I need to definitely take permission, but I want to recuse myself from this meeting because it will be improper to attend a meeting where the agreement is rejected by my members. So that's how I recused myself from that meeting, and I think it was important for the press conference to relate this information, because definitely we are always in touch with the minister, with.
So the press conference failed to give reasons why you.
Yes, that they should have said that the students. Attitude towards us suspending our strike was absolutely provocative. And I recuse myself.
Why do you think the students will do that? Why do you think?
Anyway,
well, I think, Lamin, I think it's a student that can only explain that.
Okay.
Because definitely.
So do you think, if somebody look at it from outside and look at the University Staff Association, the student union, and the management, do you think it's fair enough to say that the student union and the management are on one plate while you are on the other?
Lamin, to be very honest, if you are to ask me, sometimes, we just have to be very clear about issues. I wouldn't stand here and start giving some allegations or making assumptions.
What is the stand of the student union on this in those
anyway,
from your point of view, what is their stand?
Well, no, these are two distinct things.
Entities,
But we had students also saying that when the teachers, the lecturers, in that case your staff association, go on strike, they will go on strike. We had that.
Yeah, because our industrial action will affect their classes and exams.
Yeah, exactly.
So in order to actually...
I'm asking, what is their approach in that? What did they tell you about the strike, the students?
They told me our strike
is their strike.
Is their strike. And then the student union leader does not actually represent the aspiration of the student.
I see.
But actually, I cannot actually accuse them of siding the video. But the student union president accused Dr. Ismail Assisi in the office, at the office of the president, inside the office of the vice president, say Ismail Assisi is siding with the staff association. And not only that, he actually he was very disrespectful to us until the authorities intervened.
To the minister.
To the minister. So what actually happened, what we need to understand, student union executive cannot actually convince the entire student body to react or to react against what we are doing.
Nice.
But we actually consider them as actual partners and stakeholders. Well before this crisis arose, I approached their leader, two of their leaders, the president, I think, and the secretary general. I told them that you people are our students. Something is coming because our two members, our two senior staff, actually are dismissed. And once we embark on industrial action, you will be the people who will suffer.
Yeah.
Why can't you go and call or convene an executive meeting and identify key influential persons who will go to the Vice Chancellor and actually influence him to reverse, so that they could reverse the dismissal? I talked to them. Here I am actually telling them to serve as intermediary or to serve as mediation forces, not to be aligned with us or to be aligned with any entity. Because I told you as stakeholder, go and do that. They went and said that we are not staff association, is not student union or whatever. I said, no, but we are not saying that. Because I went to the Vice Chancellor, I advised him so that he could actually reverse this thing. I went to his office, even against the request, against the association. Exactly. I told Vice Chancellor, please, why can't you reverse this so that peace could reign here? The Vice Chancellor has been adamant, but what I understand, you have to understand, I'm giving you a background to that. You know, we have never been in good terms with the chairman of the council. And this actual crisis coincided with the end of the term of the chairman of the council, Mr. Martin Duru. If you could listen to the audio, the dismissal of these people was actually planned out of the premise of the university. The Vice Chancellor in the states that he was going to the chairman, Martin Duru.
To get rid of this.
He is a strong man, so that we can get rid of Dr. Ali Jiba and Matarin Njie. Background, somebody was saying that, and other few members. So which means that now, what also aggravated the whole thing is the threat embedded in that audio, which is actually targeting, which means that a kind of premeditated conspiracy or connivance among them to sack lecturers. So that is why, as far as sacking is concerned, since it was actually planned and it was discussed outside the university premise, and they brought it to the council and they influenced the council to sack, and we are asking the authorities to actually review the sacking.
Nice.
So which means that the Vice Chancellor planned this, and they are ready to go after the sacking of Aliu. Other members are identified to be sacked because they said that, and other few members. So the threat level is the one influencing the entire university community, and they want to make sure that they go on strike so that their fear will be allayed. And then that is actually is the drive. So at this point in time, and this actually it could invalidate any form of, it could render the dismissal illegal because it was pre-planned.
Okay.
And the people who organize also these things, they have commonalities.
Okay, those are the allegations and maybe matters that will come before.
Yeah, just to add to that.
We are not record. Yeah. But now let's look at the situation. The examinations is at the corner. The government has yesterday's called press conference. They expressed interest that they wanted, I guess they wanted the examination not to be disrupted. So what is your position now? Are you going to continue on the sit-down strike until your demands met?
Okay.
Or you are, going to now strike a deal in which you will suspend the actions until exams are held?
So Lamin, let me just
moving forward, what's going to be, what can we expect from this?
Yes, just like what the minister said, we will continue engaging in dialogue until we get a peaceful, peaceful resolution. Yeah, it means we'll continue having dialogue. So
you will look at the situation of the students.
Yes, so Lamin, let's be very clear about the situation of the student. If the Vice Chancellor said he is not part, the Vice Chancellor is a sitting member of the governing council. That has to be very clear. When this decision was taken, the Vice Chancellor is part of council. He should have remembered that if this decision is taken, it will have a very bad impact on the students. So those that are saying that the decision was not based on emotional, on personal vendetta, should make this analysis. You sack 2 key lecturers who have over 400 students at the eve of an exam, and the students are. It's the strike started fanning when those students were affected, and they couldn't have replacement on who is going to lecture them. So I think the core cause of this, it's the vice chancellor, who is a sitting member of council, and the outgoing chairman of the governing council, because the chairman of the governing council should have passed or hand over all this disciplinary report and everything to the new council, because he knew that their term has expired. Yes, they knew that their term expired, including Babukar Boy and others. Their term have expired. So they could have, if the interests of the students were in their heart, they could have said, look, let's hand over this report to the new governing council. Maybe they think the new governing council would think different, because they are people with their independent minds. So they went and fast-tracked this. So it is not the staff association that is holding the students at ransom, but it is the vice chancellor with conspiracy. Even if you listen to the audio, there were a lot of clear conspiracy between the vice chancellor, the chairman of the governing council, and some other members of the governing council to get rid of Dr. Jiba and Dr. Matanyai, and they have sacrificed their old students. So it means the vice chancellor has no feeling for the student. If he had, he would not have taken such a decision at this crucial time.
So let's look at this, because I'm still trying to find out people who are concerned that there should be a breakthrough in the interest of the students. Now, what the Vice Chancellor said here, he said the government-led framework, which included both the Students' Union and the Staff Association, resulted in resolutions in the replacement of the dismissed lecturers.
And the
Replacement.
in fact,
different from statement.
let's look at this thing critically.
Replacement.
Replacement.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now, these two lecturers.
So replace them in the interim.
No,
We are not involved in any replacement.
No, we are not. That is his.
That's what he said.
That is the vice chancellor resolution with the student.
Yes.
We were actually excluded and isolated.
Our question is,
He didn't even want us to be part of it.
I see.
But he wants to actually cop the government.
What
so
about,
that
you said the same resolution said the rescheduling of exams and orientation sessions, staff promotions, etc., etc. You know about it.
Lamin, scheduling of exams, and these are administrative issues. We have no control over
that. But this resolution about replacement of the Yoruba.
no, anyway, we are not part of
We
it.
cannot be calling for replacement, and
When you are calling for instead.
yes, it defies logic. We are calling.
And in fact, these two people are senior lecturers with terminal degrees, and the other one associate professor. If their courses are given to somebody with master's degree and lecturer, what do you think about that? So you see, the university is not interested. The man just wants to actually cleanse the university with those who are critical and try to reconsolidate himself in his governance. So
in other words, your position is that reinstate the duo, or you're not going to sit down. You're not going to.
no, we are actually working with the government and the scholar negotiation, and then we actually
But you are saying that
we actually appreciate.
the government ideally don't interfere in that.
No, in interference, they cannot just tell these people to reinstate these people.
They can't do it.
They can do, but they have to establish an avenue where they will see the need to reinstate them. That was why we actually tried to create we created that committee. Even though our members did not actually respond to that. But look at that. We came back that time, we asked our members to go back to work. They went on Tuesday, not so. They went to work on Tuesday. But the student union president, the content of his press conference actually provoked.
I see.
And then he's just trying to convince them that it was his influence that is actually making the staff to return to and then you can understand, and the vice also make it clear that students are more important, but lecturers, scholars are marginal, or they will marginalize. And then I could not actually have any control, influence our staff, even though first day I said, go back to work and let's give government 48 hours. Because I know how government actually humble, especially the vice president and the ministers humble themselves to listen to us.
So your going back to strike this time is caused by the attitude of the students.
The attitude of the student, and also is from part of it. And our members did not trust it because they thought actually what kind of. And when we asked them, they went back. And they went back. But when they had the student union president who does not even represent even 30% of the student aspiration, because students are countering him right now.
Exactly.
So, and then they went back, they said, we got well, how could our student?
I see.
So and then
in this case, it's not the UTG management, responsible for the
but
for your latest anger.
No, but the student will make it clear. Made it clear in his statement that parents are paying their money. If the university staff fail to return to work or come back to work, which means that it's a breach of contract between them and the university, and they know he has. Does he have any mandate? Does he have any mandate to address the staff in that situation?
Let me clarify.
In this time moment.
Let me clarify something. I'm not the spokesperson of government. I'm not speaking on behalf of government. But I just want to clarify these two terms, interference and intervention. Government is intervening to ensure that we have a very peaceful resolutions. They are not interfering. Because all these meetings, the Minister of Higher Education was always in attendance. And I believe that should be the role of government to intervene, to try to see how matters can be solved. Because at the end of the day, we are all Gambians, and the Gambia belong to us. So we should jealously guide our institutions. But Lamin, the main problem is, and I think I'm making this thing so that government know, because we will not continue, we will not stop writing. Whenever we write, we will not disrespect anybody, but we will copy them. Whenever they see copy of correspondence from the staff association, let them try to act before it is too late. Lamin, qualified Gambians that applied for job should be prioritized if they are qualified. I think that's very important. And the other thing is,
you might think you are qualified as Gambians. The management of the university may think that it is the what you call non-Gambians who are more qualified. So
those are subjectivity. That if we open up to that discussion, who is qualified?
And there is no quota.
Okay.
Is there
we understand university
a certain quota to be given to non-Gambians or
no. Actually, university. Sorry. No. We understand that university.
I can go to Njala
let me go. No. Yes. We understand that, but the reason why, for example, the university governance or university management is sustaining the inflow. Because by actually constraining capacity for Gambians. Remember, Minister of Higher Education has just responded to the demand and the need. 25 years of existence as English-speaking country, there has never been a single government trained up to PhD in English department. 25. We were established 8 years before Asansek and Ziganson. Currently, they are the one training our doctorate students in French, our lecturers. And we were established 8 years before. So this is a kind of a situation in the Gambia where institutional leaders will constrain capacity in order to create a condition, and in order to create a weakening condition, a weak condition for that matter. In this department, we are English-speaking country. It should have been the first founding discipline in the university. Development studies was introduced before even English language in this university. But there is only one lecturer with PhD in development, 25 to 26 years of its existence. Now, although Professor Khan in his time came with initiative for massive capacity building, more than 50 university lecturers got their acceptance letter from OAU, Obafemi Awolowo University, that actually coincided with his departure. But after that, there was no continuity. In that Farba Bantan campus project, few university lecturers were only given in that project. So, if you don't build Gambian to build their capacity, how could you sustain? Because you know that. So, this is why we are. So, they try to limit them. The whole department, in geography there is no. So, in geography department there is no single person with PhD, and Gambia with only masters.
By the way, do you see a commission report by a certain person, a non-Gambian, talking about?
No, we are not actually opposed to non-Gambian inflow of foreign. we are not actually opposed to inflow of foreign experts, because they are here to complement. And secondly, most of them are Africans.
No, and UTG is an international.
It's an international. We are not. But you know what happened? The vice president will make use of these people as a kind of a seal against Gambians. Look at that now, against Gambia. That's what he's doing. Against, that's what we are. These people, we brought some of them. But now in a situation where why should we actually delay the promotion for Gambians? Because associate professors will sit in Senate. Over 1 year you are doing that. So what we cannot understand, how can you do that? We are not opposed to those people. But his kind of style of administration, trying to manipulate the condition in order to constrain.
Okay, let me just give you a word, let's say a few lines about what the university said about the allegations. They said, of course, the two prior to their being given national and global publicity. That is the allegation by the dismissed lecturers. He said the allegations were not brought to the attention of the Governing Council for investigation and remedy if found to be true. Can that not be the case that these people went to the media before they...
But we wrote him, he didn't respond. He never responded.
So that
we wrote him and he isolated all our correspondence. For the last 3 years, he never responded. In fact, I asked these people, let's go to his house and meet him. They said no, because we wrote to him. He did not. I went there. I was going there to tell him.
They also said that the foreign academic staff were stigmatized with insinuations about their qualifications and value. They accused the Vice Chancellor and management of being complicit in an agenda to reward favorites and suppress the promotions of staff who criticized management. He said the publications contain a variety of spurious acts. So the management is of the view that you guys perhaps don't like foreign staff.
No! Our first Vice Chancellor was a foreigner, that is a Kong, was sent by Commonwealth, and he stabilized the university, because these are people of experience with high academic standing, and they are more responsive to scholarship than whatever. UTG right now in governance is bureaucratic, but I don't believe that scholarly issues are actually matters in their agenda. I don't want to go into nitty-gritty. That's why if you are recruiting a vice chancellor, you must assess it from the global level down.
Who knows university culture?
You understand that? It has to be a person with reputation, because this is a developing country and it's a young university.
Okay.
So you need to understand how they are in control
around his appointment.
You see, this is it.
Around here.
I don't want to go into that, because that one, I don't want to take into court again.
It basically has to deal with the Staff Association's view of the personality of the VC, his appointment, and even his qualifications and competency. You are questioning.
Anyway, I don't question his qualification, but the way he is handling the governance,
or his style of governance.
His style of governance does not actually correspond
with university.
Okay, let's end with a focus on the present situation. The exam is on the corner. You people are still sticking to your guns that you're not gonna end these sit downs, right? At least you had come to a town. It's only the students that came up, and according to you, the students provoked your resumption of the and not the management of the university now. So you know,
the management also provoked was partly.
No, listen, but according to you, it is the recent press conference by the students that provoked resuming.
So you would
have disappointed the people with an agreement.
No, let me clarify that. No, Lamin, let me clarify that.
Yeah.
That's part of it. But secondly, there was an extraordinary congress that was called
by your people.
By our people, and they rejected the deal that we
so we come to back the very deal that you reached with the vice president. Yes. Your members don't like the deal.
Yes.
And then while you were, but then
because there was some caveat in the district. So the first one.
But at least that resolution or that meeting, that agreement from the vice president allowed you to calm down for at least 2 or 3 days. But before that, the students came with this provocative statement. So you would have disappointed the people with whom you reach that agreement, the vice president, because the students, I mean, are just an entity of their own.
No,
why should you punish?
Even
reach that agreement because of
even the office of the president advised the student union leader on his manners, and then at that meeting. Because he just says, who are these people? He was just making like this. Who are these people?
You all recognize the unruly, so to speak, of behavior.
No, two of us.
Yeah. Of the so why would you blame now? Why would you go back to strike only on that kind
No,
of
it is not us. It is not two of us, but our members. And we owe our mandate to our community. And we really want to actually end this strike. We call off the strike. When we actually left vice president office, we called, and the people, they came back to work. And now that there are a lot of things coming up, the staff were not happy. And secondly, let me tell you what actually reinforced all these things is the threat embedded in that audio. Mr. Cham, when somebody said but we have to understand.
That might be a piece of.
So, but what we want right now, what do you want?
To go to the court.
Okay.
You have.
No, that one has nothing to do with court.
No, it might be used as evidence because it's like you said, it's not compelling as to how you think the dismissal of the lecturers were all conceived. You think there was already
determined.
Yeah, so that was court for decide. I mean, now I'm trying to see government's interest in ending this saga in the interest of continuation of lectures and examinations. If you are sticking to your gun, this time on the account of the behavior of the students and not the governing council, so I mean, people feel disappointed. Why should you listen to the students and not,
Lamin, I think that should be very clear. We owe our mandates to our members. When we went into that discussion,
I'm talking about your general membership. Why would they listen?
Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, but Lamin, we cannot speak for every one of them. We can only, when we went to that negotiation, we had a very clear mind, and we definitely thought that was a good deal. And it was, but there was a caveat in that says, both parties agreed, which I'm not even sure if that was how it was agreed, that both parties agreed to abide by the outcome of the committee.
Agreement, yes.
And many of them, because remember, in 2001 we had...
But you represented your association as the vice president, so if you agree, obviously it entails that only...
So we are just a part of a whole, and sometimes some of the big decisions would have to, because that was a Congress decision, so we had to. So in 2001, we called off an industrial action after we had some resolutions with the government. The meeting was chaired by the former Secretary General Ensa Touray and some high government officials. Lamin, guess what? Nothing in that document was respected, and legally it's not binding on them. So we have to be very careful about what is binding. And
anyway,
forward.
It's a different.
Your association and the university. If this trend continues, the future of the university would be.
No. But one thing we try to actually set a precedent here, so that few group of people within the university management should not actually think that they can actually put law in their hand, and threaten the members or whatever they want to do, they can do that. You understand? We understand university has structures, and then the vice chancellor or any other person should respect scholars and also should be open to dialogue. Sometimes when we actually adopt that pathway, and so many things will be resolved at the university. But once the vice chancellor is closed, and let me tell you one to hear, why are you sacking or dismissing people as a scholar? All the scholarship is about, you have to be receptive to ideas. Once you read books, you publish works, you come across different actors in different situations. Even the work of scholars contain different personalities, different actors and themes. So being criticized of your travelings and whatever you want to claim so that you can silence everybody, then we consider you as actually a capitalist who came to accumulate, but you never want to respond. And we have to be very, very careful with that. Exactly. People who come with their economic agenda will never listen to any productive ideas.
Okay. I got your point now. And at this point, if people are wondering why we did not invite the Vice Chancellor, I will once again go to that. The Vice Chancellor was invited to this meeting, initially accepted to come, but later sent us this following message that they could not come to this meeting because, number one, a press conference that was called by the Ministry of Higher Education yesterday had provided details and an update in terms of the dialogue and negotiations based on the existing government-led framework. And according to the Vice Chancellor, another reason he will not come here is he wants to respect, and he means the management of the university, want to respect the government-led framework for dialogue and negotiations. Because this framework, according to the Vice Chancellor, included both students and the staff association, and it has resulted in resolutions on the replacement of the lecturers that have been dismissed, the rescheduling of the exams process, and orientation sessions, and also on staff promotion.
Lamin,
the framework, he said, led to the setting up of an independent committee that chaired by the Department of Labor with the other stakeholders, including a representative of the University of Gambia Staff Association, that's your committee, to review the process and the decisions on the dismissal of the two staff. He was invited he as Vice Chancellor was invited to represent the UTG management, and he was interviewed by the panel and submitted at the request of some documents, but your party, he said the other party did not. And number three, why he couldn't be here, he said the matter is before the court. And he said he would be happy to have a one-to-one. So that's basically the reason why the Vice Chancellor could not be here. He said because the press conference yesterday gave an update, so probably he doesn't have anything, and also he want to respect the process that's been taken by the government through that framework.
Lamin, let's be clear about that. The staff association is not in any agreement for replacement. That should be clear. As you were reading, I was listening.
Yeah, that's what he said. Okay.
Yes.
So now, finally, President and Secretary General of the University Staff Association, when are we going to see the end of this strike or a settlement of this matter? What should be done?
Anyway, we feel that the dismissal was actually wrong and illegal.
Want to call it something? No, I can't. Okay.
We feel that the manner in which our members were...
You can send text messages, but we can't call,
we really feel that the dismissals were wrong, illegal, it was premeditated. Based on that, we want the government of the Gambia, and we believe they have been supporting to ensure peaceful resolution of this matter. And we believe that they want to ensure that this thing is resolved peacefully. So what we want, since it was predetermined or premeditated dismissal, we want government of the Gambia to assess that audio of the Vice Chancellor, which actually serve as threat to our members, because we want them to actually serve in the university with a peaceful mind. We don't want to be there and they will be afraid in their work, that they could serve whatever. Secondly, we need to allay their fear. If not, we will lose their allegiance to staff association. Once we cannot actually allay their fear, our members will isolate and actually detach from us. So this is why we want government to assess the audio to establish the basis of illegality of the dismissal, and so that this thing could end once and for all. So once they are reinstated, we are not trying here we are not defending any single person here.
Okay.
Even the dismissed people, we are not. But what we are doing is, since actually somebody said we and few other people, it means that we can be sacked anytime, and that was why staff union went out. Then we were on contract. Do you know that? Until 2001. All the staff were on contract. When they are 3 years elapsed, they have to write to the university to accept. But we understand that could be used as an instrument
to get anybody out.
And we said no, we are in this country, it must be permanent.
So you won that battle, you are not battle.
We won that battle, and that we want here, we want to Alifia. We know the government has no bad intention. Because I actually irritated this thing. To be frank, we are freer in this regime when it comes to academic freedom than the previous regime. We have never actually seen any threat from the government or to sack or to jail or arrest anybody from the university.
Since this new government.
So that's why we are celebrating them for that. And we believe that we want this problem to end and resolve.
But as far as we are concerned, unless and until the rectorate.
Exactly, that is our fear. We are telling the government we have a fear. Exactly.
No, finally, one word. What is the way forward according to you?
So Lamin, yes, I think we're still open up to dialogue. And it should be clear that the staff association is not in competition and it's not against the students. That should be clear. The staff association, it's not blindly fighting for their members. It should be clear that it's the responsibility of the staff association to ensure that members uphold their responsibilities. Okay? Just last year, some few staff members were dismissed because we knew that the dismissal was absolutely in line and in the interest, and also to regain the reputational damage of the university. Where
so there were other dismissals.
There were some great manipulations and all that.
Okay.
No one protested against that.
Okay.
But this one, all this evidence that we have and all these discriminations that we talked about made us strongly believe that
this one
we can solve this matter. And then that doesn't mean okay, any staff can do whatever. We have to know, we have a GO, we have rules and regulations, and as a public servant you have to abide by the code of conduct of the government or of the public service. That should be very clear to everyone. We are not here to protect anyone that will violate or continue violating the code of conduct of the public service or of the University of the Gambia.
Good.
So yeah.
Thank you very much, Yoro Njie, Secretary General of the University Faculty Staff Association, and his President, Dr. Ensa Touray. Like I said, we have invited the Vice Chancellor, who has sent us a few topics as to why he could not come, but an update on the position of the management of the University of the Gambia. Well, we hope that a resolution is found in the coming days as soon as possible, so that things will go back to normal at the University of the Gambia. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being on the branch, and we hope we can always get you back when matters related to this matter comes up again. Thank you very much for honoring our listen.
Thank you so much.
Brunch will be back next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnels who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Kairaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657-479 980-8483 340-9400 or 635-9906.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Brusubi opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
I get it. Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyingi.
Okay. Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. I get it.
Bijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariya. Mbare ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong blabe to.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jang.
Ha?
Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kodo kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannam number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi manin domorol ni fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je.
Wo moy o diat.
Apelenta
ni wo ka ni lafta nyelen kendol e bina.
Yalo bukani la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Abaraka.